The African bush is thick with thieves. Swindlers lurk in the shadows, waiting for their moment to strike. Here, nothing and nobody is safe. Each creature must fight for what is rightfully or wrongfully theirs, whatever the cost. Botswana, in southern Africa. This landscape of fear harbors a dark criminal underworld. An unsettling place where suspicion, cunning, and brutality rule supreme. Here, crime holds the key to the survival of Africa's deadliest thieves. Making an honest living is no mean feat. Prey are wary, so success requires stealth, determination, and speed. The impala represents days of hard work for this male leopard. It could feed him for an entire week. But he needs to get it somewhere safer, fast. Criminals are everywhere. Hyenas may be the ultimate thieves of the savannah, but they're lacking one critical skill for stealing from leopards. They can't climb. Stranded below, it will have to make do with scraps. This treetop perch is enough to keep most scroungers at bay. But it may not protect his meal from one of his own. This female leopard is smaller and less powerful. But what she lacks in brawn, she makes up for in brains. Blending in perfectly with the forest floor, she's a deadly ambush predator. But why do the killing when you can reap the rewards of somebody else's hard work? He's twice her size and could easily overpower her. But she's not looking for a fight. She knows that all she has to do is wait. With dusk approaching, the male sets off on the daily patrol of his territory. Now is her chance. He could return at any moment, so there's not a second to waste. The carcass might weigh more than she does, but her powerful jaw and neck muscles allow her to drag it hundreds of feet and hide it out of sight. This cat burglar is living proof that thieves can make a killing if they keep their eyes peeled. Botswana's brutal battlefield is swarming with crafty thieves on the lookout for opportunity. And these fish eagles are already under surveillance. By a bandit with criminal intent. The marabou stork is a master of the smash and grab technique. Vigilance lies at the heart of his strategy. The stork knows that eagles are formidable hunters. But even the most accomplished predators sometimes make mistakes. And when they do, the sharp-eyed stork makes his move. Leaving the eagle empty-handed, he devours his reward. Before every heist, thieves must weigh up the risks. Robbing a pride of lions might seem like a death wish. But this jackal has big ambitions. The cats are 20 times his weight and could kill him with a single swipe of a paw. But he's cunning and sneaky. The lions may be too full to worry about a few stolen scraps. A solo thief can operate under the radar. But the arrival of others could ruin his plan. Sure enough, the newcomers' brazen antics make them increasingly unpopular. As the morsels of meat dwindle, they become noisy and annoying. And eventually, the pride's patience runs out. The lioness is fast, but the jackals have agility on their side. And the cats won't get any peace if they stay here. So the male decides to find somewhere else to finish his meal. Most of the jackals take the hint. But not everybody gives up so easily. Taking on the King of Beasts single-handed could be a suicide mission. But this jackal is a master criminal. He can't afford to test the lion's patience any further. But the jackal's time will come. As long as he stays solo and silent. Stealth and strategic timing are vital. He keeps his distance until the lion is engrossed in its meal once more. Then, checking the coast is clear, he makes his final move. Sometimes, fortune favors the brave. One tactic to avoid competition among thieves is to survive on something that nobody else wants. A dung beetle works furiously to create the perfect dung ball for dinner. But even here, there are hijackers. Fresh dung is at a premium, and there's not enough to go round. The intruders turn on each other, but the master builder has a better plan. He'll find a new pile of dung while the hijackers are brawling. For a little guy, he has a big job on his hands. Using spurs on his back legs, he can roll a ball 50 times his weight. And he'll keep going, no matter what gets in his way. The hijackers pay the price for taking their eyes off the ball. Some animals have turned theft into an art form. Hyenas can smell rotting flesh from several miles away. But this one is far more than a slobbering scavenger. She is a master of strategy. And right now, she's relying on her wits more than ever. Wild dogs are some of the most successful hunters in the African bush. Shadowing the pack is the hyena's best bet for a free meal. All she has to do is keep the dogs in view. Until they kill. So far, so good. But taking on a dog pack is risky business. Timing her attack just right is critical. Too late, and the food will be gone. Too soon, and the dogs will tear her to shreds. In the wilds of Botswana, a thieving hyena makes her move on a dog kill. She might be bigger, but she's outnumbered, and the dogs are a well-oiled machine. But this cunning thief has timed her attack perfectly. The dogs have had their fill and have no appetite for a battle. And there's still meat left on the bones. This time, her strategy has paid off. And she won't go hungry. Dodging thieves can mean the difference between survival and starvation. So the smartest predators use any tricks they can. Hunting on the open plains at night could be dangerous. Best to stick to the shadows. But there are swindlers here, too. Any sound will draw them in. Unless she can target a victim that will die silently. Result. The mute catfish won't betray her location. She eats quickly and quietly, polishing off the fast food meal before lurking crooks catch on. Sometimes, it's where you hang out that exposes you to criminals. And one thief targets victims as they gather at a waterhole. Every thirsty animal knows it's coming. The oxpecker. This bird is a hitchhiker with a sinister side. They're not just catching a ride. For these robbers, the bodies of large herbivores are rich thieving grounds. They comb through hair with scissor-like beaks, sieving out dead skin, ticks, and dandruff. Tears and earwax are also firm favorites. But these are just tasty tidbits to accompany the main course. Blood. To satisfy their vampiric thirst, they slice open wounds and keep lesions seeping. It's daylight robbery, and there's precious little that their long-suffering blood donors can do about it. But sometimes the tables turn, and this brazen swindler transforms from villain to hero. Their warning is unmistakable. Run for your lives. The savannah's top predator is thwarted by a tiny burglar of a bird. For Africa's deadliest, protecting your food from thieves is essential, especially when you have to fight for it. Even with the help of her pride, this lioness racks up 2 failures for every successful kill. With a maximum speed of under 40 miles an hour, she can be outrun. But she set her sights on the Kalahari's most formidable opponent. This lioness must stay hidden until the very last moment. The buffalo is 4 times her weight. And heavily armed. One well-aimed sweep of its horns could be deadly. It takes all her strength and skill to bring the Goliath down. This is a hard-won meal, and the weary pride feasts into the night. Full and exhausted from the chase, the lions can finally rest. But not everyone has clocked off for the evening. Under the cover of darkness, hyenas are fearless. And they mean business. They've got their eyes on the pride's banquet. But after so much hard work, thieves will not be tolerated. Even after a night of scavenging, this hyena still has food on the brain. She could hunt, but an abandoned zebra carcass will make a much easier meal. Or will it? A new arrival. She's part of the same clan. But here, no one is trustworthy. Not even family. To make sure she gets her share, she's got to stash the goods. While others' backs are turned, she drops the carcass under the water, where thieves can't see it or smell it. All she has to do is remember where her meal is and return when the coast is clear. But in such a big family, there's always somebody watching. The spy is a member of her own clan and is moving in for the steal. There's only one option. Grab the package and split. Even among family, there's no honor among thieves. For some animals, there's one thing even more at risk than food. Jackals pair for life, and this male has become separated from his partner. He needs to find her fast, or risk losing her to thieves. Reunited, the committed couple stick close together. But mates are hot property in these parts. And nothing will stop bachelors from trying to muscle in. The female is ready to mate. And this lone male knows it. Shadowing each other's every move, the couple make it clear that three's a crowd. The competition is persistent. He too needs to find a partner in crime. But he's messing with the wrong guy. The game is up, and the would-be thief admits defeat. The couple's union is safe, for now. Here in Botswana, thieves constantly jostle for the best position. But often, it's just a matter of being in the right place at the right time. Once a year, heavy rains flood the Kalahari Basin, feeding life and death. For olive toads, the temporary pools create the perfect conditions for breeding. And before long, uninvited guests arrive at the party. But this hunter is not at the top of the food chain. The tawny eagle's short legs aren't designed for frog fishing. But bullying is a trick this thief has mastered. His tactic is simple. Intimidate his victim until it gives up the goods. Thief 1, Hunter 0. Even Africa's most formidable predator occasionally turns to the dark side. These Herculean beasts are brothers. Together, they protect their territory and their family. But there's one rule that every male lion must learn. Your siblings' females are strictly off limits. And this lioness is already taken. But the younger brother wants some action. He decides to take the law into his own hands. He makes his move. But he's overstepping the mark. Big Brother is watching. Among Africa's deadliest, attempting to steal a mate has its consequences. Brothers turn from partners into enemies. boss makes it clear. This female is not up for grabs. Some of Africa's deadliest are so smart, they don't need to resort to thievery. It's the dry season. As the water evaporates, it reveals a wealth of hidden riches. The pool's inhabitants have nowhere to hide. Trapped. Time is running out for these catfish. Others have already met their fate. A troop of banded mongoose is quick to snap up the rotting treasures. But the competition is fierce. And before long, every carcass has been claimed. For a latecomer, it seems the only option is to steal from someone else. But for those in the know, there is an alternative. Tightly sealed and rock solid, clams are beyond the abilities of most. But the dexterous mongoose has mastered the technique. It's back-breaking work. But it's worth it to be free from thieves. Of all Botswana's thieves, vultures are the most notorious. Born into the business of crime, they are the savannah's grave robbers, forging a life from death. Early morning, and as soon as the thermals are strong enough, they set off on the lookout for the dead and the dying. With excellent vision and an acute sense of smell, they don't miss a trick. Jackpot. But this white-backed vulture is late to the feast. And even among the king of thieves, there is a pecking order. Lappet-faced vultures are already here. They are the largest and most dominant of all. With a 10-foot wingspan and heavy-duty hooked beak that can rip the carcass open with ease. The other birds bow to such superior power. But when the big guy leaves, The new arrival seizes his opportunity. He battles through. And stakes his claim. In the chaos, Marabou's storks grab any opportunity to swipe the vulture's grisly morsels. But it's not just two-legged thieves they have to worry about. The birds are under attack. An easy escape. The grave robbers return to their gory search for a less threatening opportunity. Among Africa's deadliest, stealing is a way of life. Sometimes the rewards are rich. But with limited resources, there are rules that must be followed. Every swindler needs to learn when to fight and when to back down. For Botswana's thieves, survival is all that matters.